When a new product launches in the fishing world, a new rod, a new reel, new lures perhaps, fishing enthusiasts often get so excited and hype up about the new toys that they often only focus on the good and positive things about the product. However, I realized not much is actually mentioned about the long-term durability or even how the product itself performs over a period of time. Welcome to the Singapore Jerker channel, and here's the Daiwa Ryoga, past the hype. Like you, I'm also an avid angler myself, although I don't think I'm a very good one. Well, that's another story. But I like to put the gears I have through their paces, and over time, of course, some perform fantastic, while some others, they don't do as well. So I decided I wanted to start this new series called Past the Hype. So I decided to feature the Daiwa Ryoga first. It's called the Ryoga in Japan, so no more Ryoga here today. Okay, so I decided to feature this because the other two videos that I did previously generated more than 10,000 views. I didn't expect that. That is super crazy awesome. So thank you each and every one of you who actually watched the videos, who liked, shared or subscribed after watching the videos, who posted your comments as well. And that's why I decided to do this fella. I actually did not think that I'll do a third video on the Ryoga, because it was supposed to be done and over with, no more. But well, past the hype. So it's been 9 months since I had this reel. I have lived with it for 6. I'll tell you why. There were 3 months missing. But before I delve into the missing 3 months, I wanted to also feature the Ryoga because when it first came to me, and in the first 2 videos, I actually touched on a lot of good points about this reel, which I felt at that point before I extensively used it. 6 months later, I'm quite sure that I understand the reel now, its strengths, which there are still a lot of it, and of course the weaknesses, which I'm pretty certain of as well. I'll post a link of the previous 2 videos in case you want to go look at them. And of course, the other thing is I feel a sense of responsibility having done the first 2 videos and having a lot of people watch them and talking about all the great stuff and none of the bad. So this is going to hurt a little bit. Casting wise, my personal experience with this reel is, well, I think it is a very, very good casting reel, but it's not excellent. So I'm not sure why, but or maybe it's the line that I have in here. These are braided lines that I had since day one actually. They lasted me very well. I've not changed them out, and they are like 30 pounds. It's like when I cast, I feel the casting is good. It's really, really good. I get distance, it's not very difficult to cast. It's not difficult to cast at all actually. The adjustments are easy. It's just that feeling, I have. Sometimes when I try and cast, I feel that the reel somehow has that little bit more that is just holding back. It's a very difficult feeling to explain. I'm not sure if anyone else or any of you watching this, if you own this reel, if you face the same sensation that I do. So, but if you do, please leave a comment, share your experience with us, so that I know I might be proven wrong. Maybe I'm the odd one out. Again, I'm not a very good caster, so yeah. So that's my feel for casting, and maybe it's the spool, because I've got a couple of Daiwas with the SV spool, and those reels to me are a lot and way easier to cast in a way. I mean, again, this is a very good caster. It's just that I feel there's something lacking. I feel that it's being held back somewhat. Then previously, I think there was a question posed about whether this actually has a SV spool available as an aftermarket replacement. I've done some homework and I stand to be corrected, because previously I thought there didn't exist any aftermarket spools that can be used on this Ryoga. But Daiwa seems to have a couple of aftermarket reel spools that are available, and I think they should be able to fit into this Ryoga because the reel spool diameters are the same. It's just that there are some SV models, and there are also, I think, 1 or 2 shallower spool models. So, well, if I can, I'll try and direct you to the Daiwa site where you can have a look at them. The spools are not cheap though. I realize, I think they're easily like about more than $100. So I haven't gotten one personally, because right now I'm caught on a fence actually. I'm not sure whether I will continuously hold on to this, or whether I want to probably sell it away to get something else to play with. So we'll see. Anyway, I've added a couple of videos while I was talking away. I'm not sure if you can actually see how the lures perform with different weights and stuff. So that was done a short while back, and yeah, so it's a good caster. It's just that I don't think it's excellent, and maybe, just maybe, the SV spool, if it can fit, might change the casting feel or mechanics of this and make it even better. But here's where the strength of the reel really comes in. This Ryoga, and relating back to my earlier videos, I still stand firm about the power of its crank. 6 months later, this reel is still smooth, very, very smooth. It's phenomenal. You know, against my Kolkata, I don't know, I just think that this reel is somewhat still smoother, even 6 months on. Or it might have gotten a little bit smoother, I don't know. But cranking this is effortless. You know, I've done literally almost all the lures I have, different types of it, top water, subsurface, some deep cranks as well. So far it hasn't failed me. It's great. The cranking of this reel is still, till today, 6 months on, 9 months on, it's still awesome. But in terms of the drag power for this Ryoga, it hasn't lived up to its expectations for me. It's not the reel's fault, really. I think it's my problem. Because number one, I've never caught a largemouth bass in my life, ever. Not yet. Maybe in 2019. So this primarily, I mean, as stated by Daiwa, it is meant more as a bass reel or probably some light inshore saltwater. I've also not used this against anything in saltwater because I don't do a lot of, in fact I don't do saltwater at all nowadays. So against, well, what I know, my bass are the peacock bass in Singapore, not a problem. But for Amazonians and South American peacock bass, that may be an entirely different thing. I have not tried. Hopefully again soon, 2019, maybe 2020, I'm planning. So the drag, well, I think it's to each their own. If you use it for what Daiwa intended, I believe the reel, the power, the drag, everything is excellent. Unfortunately, I'm in this part of the world, Southeast Asia, and well, we get a different kind of fishing here. And I've used this against a lot of strong fishes overseas. So far it hasn't held up very well, unfortunately. Again, it's not the reel's fault. It's probably my type of fishing, and it's you know, my own personal doing. But otherwise, if you're talking about drag, well, for me, it hasn't been up there for me. But the interesting thing I like about this reel is, which I didn't mention actually, it has that clicking drag. So not sure if you can hear. See that? That's the clicker going off. I didn't mention this in my previous videos. I'm not sure why. I think I might have forgotten about it. But yeah, so this is a cool part about it. Yeah. And for me now, what I decided to do with this reel, if I'm keeping it, is basically it's very much for me to use locally in Singapore. And most of the time, I suppose, against the local population of peacock bass. Hopefully some big giant snakeheads will come and test themselves against the Ryoga every once in a while locally. So not had much luck, so we'll see how that goes when it comes along. Past the hype. After 6 to 9 months of using this, how durable is the reel? Haha. Here's where some of the concerns do come in. Exterior, very nice. See that? Credits to me actually. I take very good care of my reels. It's not dropped. It's never been dropped yet. So exterior wise, beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. But I have had 2 problems since I've had this reel. Remember the 3 months that I mentioned that was missing from my life with this reel? So it spent 3 months in the hospital, in Daiwa's hospital in Japan. So I had to send it back twice because of 2 issues or 2 problems that I faced with the Ryoga. So you see the side plate here, there's this plastic catch, right, that lets you open and lock your side plate. Now if I were to turn around, I'm not sure if you can see, but if you have your Ryoga with you, you can open your reel up, the side plate, and look at this piece of clicker here. So what happened was about anyway, it was a few months back, I decided to remove the side plate to do a bit of cleaning. What happened was when I opened it, this plastic catch is just basically a ring around this area here. It's a plastic ring. And when I opened up the side plate, what happened was this whole thing, this whole plastic ring broke by itself. It just broke out of nothing. You know, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't force it. I just opened up the side plate. The next thing is this plastic ring here. It broke into a few pieces and just dropped on the floor. So I had to send it in. Fortunately, it was under warranty. So send it in to the local agent here, and what they did was they actually sent it back to Japan, where it spent about 1.5 months before it came back to me. So I realized that this reel has this design flaw here, where this plastic that controls the opening and locking of the side plate, it's very fragile and brittle. Plus, I'm not sure again if you can see, but if you have your own Ryoga, open it up, have a look at it. This plastic ring is actually exposed. So it doesn't feel very sturdy, so I think it's very brittle as well. So this I think is a design flaw by Daiwa. Unfortunately, Daiwa, I have to say this is a design flaw. It just broke. Now I'm quite worried nowadays when I try and open the side plate, because I'm not sure how long this plastic will actually last again. And the other concern I have is after the 1-year warranty which I had on the reel when it was new, and that expires in March. If this thing breaks again, I have to pay for it myself, and then I have got to buy the parts myself and fix it in myself. It's going to be a bit of a headache for such a simple thing. So I hope Daiwa might be watching this. So Daiwa, you need to do something about this ring here, this plastic ring. So those of you with the older Ryogas, you realize that yours was the screw in. And I mentioned this in my earlier, or I think first or second video, I can't remember, that somehow with one more moving part, it might cause a bit of problem down the road, and it actually did happen on me. I'm not sure if anyone else has this problem. I have had this thing break. Episode 2, story is unfolding, right? After that plastic ring broke, it came back to me, I took it out, I casted with it. Not a very long session, I was just casting normally, right? I was just casting normally. I wasn't stressing the reel out, I'm very sure. I was just casting and casting and casting. But one cast, the reel emitted a very loud cracking sound. It seemed like a cracking sound to me. I don't know what happened internally. It seemed like somehow during the cast, something internal misaligned, and it created a cracking sound. Right? It's hard to describe. And after that cast, what happened was when I turned this, it became wobbly. It became like something was misaligned or off, and you felt that when you crank the handle or when you turn the handle, something inside was wobbling like that. You could feel it. It was very obvious. So again, I used my warranty, fortunately, sent it back to the local agent, and again they sent it back to Japan. Took another 1.5 months to come back. Therefore, 3 months gone and 3 months on my warranty. I just got this back and I haven't tried it yet. I'm hoping to get a chance, put it on the rod and give it a few casts, then see if any more problems come up again, because it's now already December. Oh, anyway, by the way, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. So I'm going to find a chance before the year ends, put it on a rod and do some casts and see how it goes, because my warranty expires in March. That means I've only got 3 months left to try and figure out if anything else is wrong with this reel before I have to start paying for parts and stuff myself. So we're still on durability. 2 other things. I recently had a comment that this side plate here felt wobbly after I don't know what happened. Well, anyway, somebody commented or actually asked if mine wobbles. So far it's good. This side plate here, once it goes on, once the catch is on, it's okay. It doesn't wobble. There's no noticeable wobbling, so it's fine for mine. And therefore I suggested that maybe they want to bring it back to the shop and have it checked out. Then of course the last thing about this reel is some people, I believe, have problems trying to adjust the magnetic brakes, the mag brakes. So someone was saying that they use their fingers and their fingernails to actually try and turn this. It's possible, it's just not easy. I was told that the person broke his nails or something. So this is how I turn it. So I apply pressure using my thumb here, and I use my forefinger to guide this, and it's just like that. Not sure if you can hear, but anyway, this is how I adjust it. It's just applying pressure here and turning it clockwise, or if you want to do it anti-clockwise, just like that. So it's easy for me like that. I don't use my nails because I have nice nails, Okay. Now in terms of customization, maybe it's Singapore, maybe we have a lot lesser things to tinker with for the Ryoga here, and it's harder to get parts. If any of you are able to do a nice pimping of your Ryoga, I would love it, if you can actually share how your reel looks like now. So I've tried to, well, if you look at my previous video, I think video number 2, I mentioned that I was thinking of changing out the star drag because I've got the aftermarkets from H-Shot Studio. I tried, I failed. It can't fit, it cannot fit. And the only thing that I managed to do, and I'm not sure if it's noticeable to you, is I only got the handle replaced. This is the Daiwa RCS 90mm handle, the carbon fiber one. So this fits very well. By fitting this, I think I have managed to reduce a bit of weight off the whole reel itself. Now the handle part feels weightless. It's super feathery like, and the cranking feels even better. So in Singapore we say it feels shook. New word, eh? If you're from other parts of the world, here we say it feels shook, right? So it's really nice now, the feeling, because of the lack of weight with the carbon fiber handle. And it has kind of altered the look a little bit. Does it look a little bit stealthier now? More Batman-like. And unfortunately, this is the only thing that I managed to change out till date. I'm not sure if there are a lot of other things. So in terms of customization, if anyone out there can really share, even with pictures if possible, how you've managed to pimp up your reel, I would love to know. And of course, please share where you got your parts from. So handle I managed to change. Star Drag, no go for me. Something from H-Shot Studio. Avail, I think, was it Avail? Something from H-Shot Studio. It didn't work for me, so I didn't manage to change out the Star Drag. Then of course we talk about the spool earlier on, so that's I'm not sure if you call that pimping, but that's something that might be possible to change. I think I saw it in red, I saw it in deep purple, and of course the dark black G1 spool. So those are a possibility to change out. Otherwise, I'm not sure of any other parts that's available to replace on this Ryoga. So it probably has to stay like this black mostly. So third video, I'm done. Hopefully this is the last. No more Ryoga videos, and hopefully I don't get any more headaches or problems with this, because my warranty is expiring soon, and oh man, well, we'll see. I just gotta put this on a rod and go out, do some casts. Let's take it from there. So in conclusion, I believe this is still a very good reel. If you follow what Daiwa has intended for it, I'm quite sure it will fulfill its obligations. Unfortunately for me, well, owing to the kind of fishing I do, it doesn't tick all the boxes, but it does tick most of it, and it's held up quite well for me mostly. I'm enjoying this reel for now still. So yeah, for those of you with a Daiwa Ryoga, the 2018 model, I hope you enjoy your reel as well. So give a like, share or subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. So take care. Cheers.